Good afternoon, everyone. Have you heard at the back? Okay, I think I've been introduced. So, I'm George, I come from Malta. And the aim of my presentation here is, as you can see from the title, is to provide with a background to augmented reality. So we're going to assume nobody knows anything about augmented reality. It's a small demonstration to introduce this concept. After my presentation, my other colleagues should make a bit more demos to give you insight into how AR can be used in a number of, let me say, sectors, including, of course, education and business. Okay, so I think for us, we need to first understand what we mean by augmented reality. There's reality, there's virtual reality, but there's also augmented reality. So to help you understand, this is a real statue, a photo of rather a real statue of a real object. It's a statue, a real object. So that's a photo of a real object. It's reality, okay? It's reality. But nowadays we can also have virtual models of the real world. This is a model of the statue. It is not the same thing. It is representing the same object, but it's a virtual model. So you can have this model, of course, on a computer. You can manipulate it on screen, but you have a model of this object, in this case, a statue. Augmented reality tries to combine the two together, in the sense that you would then have, for instance, a book, for example, but this is a real book, it's a physical thing, but I can then all of a sudden have popping out of the book, as you can see. If you can see in the iPad, you can see that's the real book which you have over there, but then popping out of the book is this model combined with it. It's what we call augmented reality. Of course, the best thing is to see a demonstration of this to help you understand. So I will proceed, and later I will show you how on this real marker here, I will get this statue popping out of my hand. But let me just proceed for the time being with this small presentation. So, when we say therefore augmented reality, now, formally, okay? If we take, for instance, Wikipedia, which is perhaps not the best scientific definition, but to help us understand a bit, okay? It is more or less, it is a live, direct or indirect view of a physical, real-world environment, such as a book. It's a real book, but which is, let me say, augmented, i.e. complemented by computer-generated images, for instance. You can also have sound, not just images. So I would have this book, a picture of a river, and I can hear the river. So you're augmenting the reality with something that's captured in the digital world. Again, we'll understand this much better once we see a live demonstration of what I'm actually trying to explain. Of course, when we say augmented reality solutions, there are a range of such solutions, and you can have what we call marker-based, using, for instance, a marker. So I can have a book which has a number of markers inside it. We have a marker. Or I can have also augmented reality, which is based by location. Nowadays, with your mobile phone, you have a GPS location. You are in this position, and I'm looking in that direction. I might be seeing something through my mobile of what is linked to my position. Again, we see a demonstration very soon of what I'm trying to say. So with a marker, I can, for instance, see on my marker, I might have a marker, I might say a model of a car. That's marker-based, okay? It's marker-based. Or if I'm outside a specific location in the world with my mobile phone, through satellites, my position is, of course, located, and based on my position, then I will see through my mobile phone information related to that position. And again, that can be exploited in a number of ways, as we'll see through some examples. Of course, from reality to augmented and virtual, there's a big spectrum. You can have the real environment, for instance, a robot over here in the real world. But you can also have the virtual, and in between you can have a mix. You can have a mix, what we call the augmented reality. Okay? Augmented reality. Well, when it comes now to the concept, how does this actually work? Because to exploit it in different applications for different scenarios, it's good to understand a bit on the underlying principles of how this works. If we take the marker-based, you have a marker, which could be anywhere, even on, as I said, for instance, a textbook or on your business card. And what happens is nowadays, with many devices having a built-in camera, or a web-based camera, or your mobile phone, or your Android smartphone, or your iPad tablet, okay? We all have access to some camera, okay? Some camera. So to that camera, and of course the right application, the right piece of software, that application will be doing, of course, let me say, image processing. Your image, your marker is going to be actually processed. Your marker is going to be processed. So you're looking at your image being processed, and the application, the app, will actually then find the relevant model associated with your marker, for instance, this statue, and augment it, show it to you where depending the marker is. So I'm looking with my tablet, with my iPad, with my phone on this marker. It could be here, it could be on the book, it could be on a sign. So instead of the marker, I start seeing these models. And this, of course, has a range of applications, as we'll see. So, for instance, this is an example of augmented reality-based application of AR. It's an IKEA example. They're going to exploit augmented reality for marketing their products. And hopefully this works. So let me just make sure the sound is on. And let's see. So notice there's a marker on the floor. And you start seeing furnitures of the marker. Could be the logo of your company, the marker. So notice, companies are already exploiting augmented reality for marketing purposes. But you can also, for instance, see furniture before you buy it in the right location. You see a model of the furniture, for instance, you intend to purchase in the location you want to use it. And it's augmenting that virtual model with the reality of your room. So that's an example of a marker-based application of augmented reality. Okay, let's proceed. But then we have the location-based. So that was marker-based. You need a marker, okay? You need a marker. On the other hand, the location-based, as I said, will in principle this time, rather than make use of some kind of marker, which could be a company logo, it could be a marker like this, okay? It will be applying the smart devices nowadays have. And many devices have, of course, a built-in GPS. So by the GPS sensor in your device, which will be communicating with the satellite, your position is more or less known. Okay? And that, of course, can have, therefore, again, other applications. So again, based on your position, the relevant augmented reality data will be actually downloaded to your device, smartphone or tablet or what you have. Depending, of course, on your orientation, the view is adjusted accordingly. Again, so notice now the power of these apps we have nowadays built into our systems. And you get, of course, a different experience of what you're seeing. So again, notice, that is, for instance, a model of the Colosseum in Rome. So you're physically in Rome, but all of a sudden, you don't have to carry a marker with you, because these apps, and again, this could be a business model, for instance, for tourism. you can offer a certain extra information which a normal guide cannot give you. How was that in the past? What used to happen? So you can be there, seeing the real thing in front of you, at the same time seeing some animation going on of some period. So let's try to see this example now, which is location-based, okay? It's an app, okay, called AR Media, but you'll hear about these later on. For now, notice the application. So this person is on site with a tablet, really in Rome. Not sure if the sound is on. Notice people, you can see, of course, because you have a camera, people are walking. It's not an image, it's a video. Basically, you're seeing the real thing in front of you. People are walking, but all of a sudden, you see the missing part. So it's based by a location. So it's giving you extra information, which is difficult to say. You see it on site. You're on site there, in this case in Rome, for instance. You're seeing how this used to look. No? Again, based on your position or on your orientation. And so this is an example of an AR application which is location-based. Does it use markers? It uses your location, okay, your location. And of course, this can be, let me say, enhanced with a number of apps, different information. You can go with certain apps to different periods. What happened in this century or this century? You can have different, let me say, interactive options. So this is an example of what we mean, therefore, by an augmented reality application which is location-based. Notice people are still moving because it's augmenting the reality. People are moving around you, but you're seeing this virtual model being augmented on that reality, okay? And this is the whole underlying concept of augmented reality, okay? We'll pass on to a demo very soon, a live demo, but before I do that, if you want to learn more, the project has two e-learning measurement systems. This is one of them, okay? This is one of them. And actually, you can access it over there. Of course, you have to send in your details to be registered. To learn more on, for instance, these principles of augmented reality. But now I'll pass on to a live demo. To explain how this therefore works, or hopefully explain. Let's see what this is going to work. Okay. Trying to connect my tablet. See. Okay, sorry, like this. Sorry. So more or less, see, it's the reality. That's the reality. It's a real room. And I have loaded a model. So let me see if I can make it in this position here. I have a model here, marker based. And all of a sudden, notice, I can get this. I can interact with the statue without damaging the real statue. Notice this is therefore the augmented reality. So you are really there in the room, but you're augmenting this reality with this virtual model. So that is augmented reality. Doesn't make a difference if it's in my hand. Notice. This is the concept of augmented reality. Of course, you can have different models. I don't know. Let me see. For instance, we can have Colosseum, Rome. So this concept can then be extended to, for instance, have books. You can have interactive books to make books a bit more interesting. Just give me a second, please, to find the right page. So you can have a book with information. Just try and make it this way. So it's a book, but you're going to make the experience more interesting. This time, besides seeing the book, I can have more information, and all of a sudden, popping out of my book, I get this notice, this model. So if I turn the page, I'm getting this 3D model coming out of my book. So that's the concept of augmented reality. And of course, you have then a number of things. So in principle, there are two things. You have to build up your virtual models or find virtual models and link them to something. And this has many applications, but I think I'll stop there to leave a bit of demos to my other colleagues. Otherwise, it's not fair. I will not leave any demonstrations for the others to do. So if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you.
Okay, so my name is Cătălin Anza. I come from University Polytechnic of Bucharest. My demo is going to be short, but I'll ask you to, if you want, okay, to try it with me. So if I can ask you to download, because I see all of you have iPads or a smartphone. If you can go into App Store, I can find one that works, or Google Play, and download this Aurasma application, and then you can also download Zapar. You will need those also for the demonstration of my colleague. Okay, they are free. And while you download them, I have to, those are also marker based, but we are not using standard marker as is this one. We are actually using company logo, which is actually the logo of our project. So I'll pass on some flyers, normal flyers, but they have some augmented reality in there, so you should pass on those. You can have a look at them. Using those applications. Okay, and I'll give you also my card, my business card. I'm a professor, I don't actually need a business card, but imagine if you have a company and you want to market yourself. This is a project flyer, but you have a company flyer, and you have a business card. It doesn't say much here except my name, but you'll find out much more about myself using the augmented reality application. Okay, so you can have some, of course, if you want. You need more than I have.
This?
No.
You don't want the presentation.
No. I'm going to use my mobile.
Because otherwise it will shut.
And I can also pass on those markers, which you can also play around with. During the coffee break, if you prefer. And you have also to download another application. And then you, I don't know that. Which is called AI Media Player. Okay, so I need this. is a normal flyer, yeah, for the project. The project deals with AR and it's uses for education mostly. Okay, so there's also the project website in there, which you can free to have a look at it. There is a section on e-learning where you can learn to do things like this using free software. So hopefully, okay. So has anybody downloaded Aurasma yet? Okay, you don't need to register. I forgot to tell you. You can skip that. But you have to follow my channel. And my channel is called Arte Project. In Aurasma you can create so-called auras, which are actually the augmented reality stuff. In order to follow my channel, you have to press the small Aurasma on the bottom. Okay, and then you go into the search button, which is the one over here. Okay, search Aurasma for Arte Project. Okay, and you should find those two. Any of those will do. Just press on it, click on it, sorry, and then there is a button over there which says follow. And you click on follow, and then you have access to everything I publish, and I make it freely available on the internet. Okay? Once you've done that, have you found the channel? Arte Project? Anybody? Yes? Okay. A few of you. If you click on this one, that one opens the camera, and then you can actually have a look at the flyer. This is the flyer. It loads, and immediately you get an animation. A video. Okay, there is the logo of the project. How do I switch orientation, if any of you know? Because I can
turn the flyer.
Yeah, if I turn the flyer, the image will still remain the same. I can do this, but it's not. And if you click on the bottom left logo, it will automatically go to the website of the project. Okay? Imagine that you can do that with your company flyer, or with your business, or whatever you want to sell or market. If you switch off the page, you can have a look at that page as well. There's another video. Sorry, there should be also sound, but I think there's a problem with the connection with my mobile. Okay? But you can also see that the flags of each partner are animated. And if you click on any of the partners, for instance, Iceland, it will load up the page of University of Akureyri. Okay? You can do many things on such a flyers, or different kind of things. We can print a T-shirt with your logo on it, and when people look at you, they can see you in a totally different way, for instance, using a hat, a funny hat. Using the other application, the Zappar, which is the one you see over there, on the first row, top right, you can have a look at my card. Okay. Again, can find some things about me. For instance, there's my photo over there. You can click on it, and then, sorry about the resolution, there's a button here, and you can actually download the business card onto the mobile phone. There are loads of information about me. My Twitter account, my Facebook, my Skype ID, my mobile phone, everything is in there. You can have some slideshow with images, for instance, this. Those are some project banners. I'm sorry for the resolution. Okay. You can also click on the button email me. Automatically it will open the email account, the email application to email me something, a message. Delete draft. I don't want an email from myself. Okay. And you can have a video, of course, on YouTube, which is a video about this application, about Zapar. So, this is an ad for Coca-Cola. Yes. You have to be on the internet. Can anybody see it? Okay, we'll talk it in the break. We'll talk about it in the break. Our ASMA is totally free. There is an SDK as well, software development kit, in which you can create your own applications, so you don't have to download our ASMA. You download University of Akureyri application. Zapar is not free. It's free for 2 months, and then they charge you a lot. So about 40 euros to keep your 3D augmented stuff on their server. So probably my card will not work after 30 days also. But I can always create another account. So.